Adam, thanks. Dr. Michael Kulenschmidt is making the morning rounds this morning, and we're talking about, because it's summer, lots of people are traveling, so we're talking about what you need to know if you are heading overseas in particular. Good morning, Doc. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So, of course, we want to talk international travels. When should people be consider seeing their doctor?
Yeah, sure. So, like you said, summer's a time where a lot of people will choose to take vacations, and some of those vacations are for overseas destinations. And there are particular parts of the country, parts of the world, South America, Central America, particularly Southeast Asia and African countries, where there do need to be some advanced planning considerations to stay safe when you're traveling. So some people travel for vacation, others travel for work. We see that a lot here with the university. And definitely in the last few months, I've noticed a fair amount of people coming for travel counseling. So, you know, a lot of what we do in the doctor's office prior to travel is talk about, illness prevention. So there are vaccine-preventable illnesses that we don't see in the United States that are common in other parts of the world, and there are non-vaccine preventable illnesses. And so each of those has its own sort of unique considerations in the time leading up to travel. I think one of the most important things I wanted to highlight is some of this has to happen pretty early.
Oh, okay.
You need to give enough time to either start medication prophylactically or get vaccines so that you're safe and protected prior to leaving.
How early would you suggest?
So it depends on where you're going and what your specific itinerary is. But I would see your doctor several months in advance if you can. Now, sometimes that's not practical.
Right.
But as early as possible before your travel plans are set, is going to be the most ideal, because again, some of these vaccines need to be given over a period of a month or so.
Okay.
Even if we do sort of accelerated schedules. And these are common vaccines like hepatitis A or B that need to be updated or certainly given in people that are not immune prior to travel.
And is it multiple vaccines that you have to get, multiple, visits?
So that it can be. It can be multiple visits or multiple vaccines. And it depends again on what exactly you're doing and where you're going. So it's not just I'm going to Peru, or I'm going to a country in Africa. It's where specifically are you, what kind of activities you're doing, how long you're going to be there, and then what's the most updated information in terms of disease activity at that point.
Okay. And you said earlier, we were talking, and you said usually when people are going to the UK, it's not as big of a deal. Yeah,
so it's not as big of a deal going to places like Europe or, Eastern Asian countries. There's less, the disease prevalence there is more similar. Now, one consideration is always traveler's diarrhea. That's probably the most common travel-associated illness, and it happens in as many as 3 out of 4 people that travel.
Wow.
Again, it is more prevalent in countries closer to the equator where, viruses, bacteria, parasites that cause traveler's diarrhea are more common. But your doctor may want to talk to you about that, maybe provide you antibiotics in case it's severe, and talk about preventative treatments as well, or preventative techniques to avoid getting those infections.
Besides going to the doctor, is there anything over the counter that people should grab with them?
So what I usually recommend is, traveler's diarrhea is one where you can actually bring some over-the-counter preventative things. So Pepto-Bismol is actually bactericidal or virucidal, meaning it can actually prevent and kill some small amounts of pathogens before they become infectious. So sometimes that's recommended as preventative treatment. It's good to have some Imodium. It's good to have some kind of pain reliever, Tylenol or ibuprofen, as long as your doctor says you're okay taking those. And then sometimes there are prescription medications sent with you.
Okay. Dr. Kulenschmidt, thanks so much for being here. As always, if you're traveling overseas, just talk to your doctor just to be safe, right?
Yep, that's right.
Thanks. We'll be right back with more of The Morning Show right after this.